We begin this afternoon with breaking news in the Oxford school shooting. The parents of the suspected gunman will stand trial.
Each parent faces 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter in the deaths of 4 students who were killed in that shooting last November. 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell live outside the courthouse for us with the evidence presented today. Kim.
Yes, Brian and Glenda, let me tell you, today was an emotional day in court. Not only were there James and Jennifer Crumbley, the prosecutors and the defense, but there were also families of people who lost their lives at Oxford High School, young students who lost their lives on that tragic day. We heard so much heartbreaking evidence from the prosecution as Judge Julie Nicholson worked to decide whether James and Jennifer Crumbley should face trial. After hearing the evidence, she ruled they will go to trial for 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter for the deaths of Tate Meir, Madison Baldwin, Hannah St. Juliana, and Justin Schilling. During the trial, defense attorneys acknowledged evidence provided by detectives showing Ethan Crumbley allegedly sent disturbing messages to a friend talking about decapitating a bird for entertainment, violence at school, and guns. But defense argued that his parents did not know. Prosecutors argued that if they had taken ordinary care and instead of buying a gun, had instead pursued medical attention for Ethan when he said he was hallucinating and suffering from mental issues, this could have been prevented.
These cases don't happen that often because these facts don't happen that often. They are egregious. He wasn't taken to the doctor. He asked for help. I mean, you all heard the testimony over and over again, and they were just indifferent. So the fact that they had medical insurance available and didn't use it is just one more piece of this complete disregard. You know, they didn't care.
We learned so much about the evidence that prosecutors have coming up on 7 Action News at 6. I'll give you a more in-depth look at that. Reporting live, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
All right, Kim, thank you for the update there. And some of the victims' parents went to court today to see this case for themselves.
And 7 Action News reporter Jim Kurtzner is there live for us with their emotional reaction. Jim?
Brian and Glenda, I can tell you this is the first time in nearly 3 months since this shooting that the parents of victims and a lot of parents in Oxford are finally hearing from school officials about their role in this shooting back on November the 30th. Check it out. It was high school counselor Sean Hopkins on the witness stand testifying he pulled Ethan out of class. Ethan had drawn that picture depicting a shooting. He had searched ammo on his cell phone the day before. His parents were called in. There was a 13-minute meeting. That the counselor, Sean Hopkins, testified that Ethan was sad and maybe even suicidal. The parents did not touch or hug him. They were urged to get him professional help immediately, but they did not take Ethan out of school. Nobody searched his backpack. No outside authorities were called. Ethan was returned to class. Among the family members here, Buck Meir, the father of Tate Meir, one of the 4 students killed.
Do you believe school officials did enough? And this counselor today on the stand did enough.
Were you
to
in
keep
there
your
today?
son?
Were you in there today?
I was watching it.
Okay, what do you think?
I'm not a parent. Doesn't matter what I think. Everybody wants to know what you think.
Our kid's not home. They didn't do enough. 3 other kids aren't coming home. They didn't do enough.
Now that counselor, Sean Hopkins, had his own attorney with him in the background today, guiding him through being on this hot seat. I talked with that attorney out here this afternoon.
What would he say to the parents who are here watching his testimony today, the parents whose children were killed?
I don't know what he would say to them. He'd say that it's a tragic event and he wishes that
Does he owe them an apology?
I don't think so. I don't think he owes them an apology. He didn't do anything wrong.
So we've talked with the parents about what the attorney said. We're going to have much more on this at 6 o'clock, but these parents seeking so much more information about the role of school officials. There are 2 lawsuits against these school officials and the district from these parents. They're going to be watching as the parents now go on trial months down the road. We'll have more for you next hour at 6. Live in Rochester Hills, Jim Kurtzner, 7 Action News.
And Jim, the pain is still palpable for so many people in this community. We'll see you at 6. Thank you. Glenda?